well, let's just deal with one sign right here. And that's the sign on the last letter, Allahu. That could be written Allah. It could be written Allahi. But we have it Allahu. Does anyone know why? What makes the difference? It's still Allah. We could put a kesra down here, or we could put a fat up there where the dhamma is. I would erase and do it, but when I erase, you know the whole thing going to go away. All right? Anyone know why? Good time to learn, all right? The last letter and the last sign on a vowel tells us what case it is. Now here goes your English coming in good now, if you know about cases. Many of us don't know about cases because I hear intelligent, educated people. I've even heard people with doctorate degrees say they're not taking care of their children. They is nominative. You want to say something belong to the third person plural, you say there. But I'm telling you, there is going out of style as far as possessive pronoun now. People are saying they. Yeah, they're not taking care of their business. It should be there, but I'm telling you, it's happening so fast, I don't think there's anything I can do about it. I think pretty soon THEIR is going to be archaic. What the old folks used to say when they didn't know how to take care of their business. All right. That's what we mean by case. Nouns can be used in 3 different ways. Nominative, meaning you're just naming it. All right. And also, that's what you do to a performer. You name the performer or the doer, right? So your subject of your sentence is always nominative. All right. The subjective case can, the subjective complement. We're not going to go through the whole diagram of the sentence today, but nominative means just what it says. You're in a meeting and you're elected. I nominate Brother So-and-so. You what? You named Brother So-and-so. That's what we mean by nominative. And then if we put a fat tab here, which would be the little S sound, that would mean that it's objective. If it's objective, then something has been done to it or for it. All right? To it or for it. If it's done to it, then it's direct object. If it's done for it, then it's indirect object. Okay? There's your English. Okay? And then if it were a kesra, it would mean that it belongs to. So if we're referring to something belonging to Allah, then we'll say Allahi. All right? That's the difference, okay? So now, quickly on the word Allah, and I don't try to expound on Allah. They say this, and this is as far as I'm going. They say that the word Allah comes from 2 words, El and Ilah. Now we know that the Ilah means God, but not the God. That's what they're saying. It means God, but not the God. Okay. But we also know that the word Allah was existing before the revelation of the Quran to Prophet Muhammad. How do we know that? Without having to do a lot of research. Who was Prophet Muhammad's father? Abdullah. Or Abdullah, okay? So therefore we know that they had the word Allah even before the revelation of the Quran, just by the mere fact that his father, who passed away before he was born, but his name was Abdullah. And Abdullah, by the way, is what? It's 2 words. Abd and Allah. All right? It's not 1 word. We write it as 1 word in English. But if your name is Abdullah, know that it is 2 words. And that goes for a whole lot of names, because some of us are using the name Abdul. Abdul is not a word. If you're going to say the word by itself, it's Abd. All right? And then you're connecting it like to Allah. So then we would take this sign off the first of Allah and just put, take the sign off. We leave everything there, but we take that first, that little hash mark right there, we take that off. And then connect Abd to it and put U or E or A. Abdullah, Abdullah, Abdullah. All right? And all words that begin with L, when you put Abd in front of it, then you can, if it begins with what we call sun letters, then Abd becomes like Abdun, Abdin. So if someone is named Nasser, it would be Abdun Nasser, or Abdin Nasser, or Abdun Nasser, whichever way you want. Why? Because the sun letter rule, which we won't get into that today, but there's something called sun letter. I'll tell you, and then when we come back next time, we'll make sure that we clarify the sun letters. There are how many alphabets in the Arabic language? 28. 14 of them are sun letters, huruf shamsiyah. All right? And the other 14 are moon letters. When the sun letters come together, one ending a word and another one beginning the word, we drop the one at the end of the word, and double the one at the beginning of the word. All right? Easy way to remember that. Which sun do you expect more from? The rising sun or the setting sun? You expect more benefit from the rising sun, right? So therefore you're going to double the one at the beginning of the letter, at the beginning of the day, you see, and drop the one at the end, okay? So, but we'll do that in more detail, and I'm sure now that I should sit down unless we have another quick question. All right? Yes, sir.
Sheikh, I want to know.
Shake? I'm not Gene, brother. I may be shaking now, but it's because I'm scared.
You're definitely a sheikh.
I didn't know my field was showing that much, but okay.
I want to know, how did you get so blessed to come up to systemize this for your own self?
Brother, that is a beautiful question. Please allow me to answer that. That is a beautiful question, because that's the reason why I don't charge. Because I've already been paid. All right? And I don't condemn brothers who charge to give Arabic instruction, but I never charge to give Arabic instructions, because Allah blessed me with a situation that I didn't even know existed. I thought everybody who taught in the prisons, because we were used to going out to county jail and going out to jail and so forth, and teaching, and I thought the chaplains out there, I thought they were volunteering too. I didn't know them suckers were getting paid. All right. So, with Imam Muhammad coming into office and then opening up so that the people's mind can say, it's all right, we can hire some Muslim chaplain. And I was blessed to be the first Muslim. I'm not going to go into the details of it. It was kind of messy too. You know, because some of them said they weren't going to hire because I threatened to tell on them. And then it wound up the brother that they were going to hire, he decided he wasn't going to take it because he had his eye on something else. He didn't know that the man was down, what you call it, a tree. You know, when you get rid of some of them, that the heavy stock we had at the top, he didn't replace them. Yeah. And I'm not talking about what he thought. I'm talking about what I heard him say. He took us down for the interview. I was on a notified. They had asked me once before, and Imam had said that he preferred for me to teach at the school because he knew I was teaching, and Gina was in my class, and he knew my techniques for teaching English. And so I had asked, this is how I know, because the people in Grand Rapids had asked me to come to Grand Rapids. I'd been up there to speak. They'd asked me to come up there and be their Imam. So I wrote a letter asking Imam Muhammad, because we were just coming out of an honorable item. You do nothing about what so I wasn't going nowhere. All right. So he sent me a message back by his nephew, Hassan. Said, tell him he can go to Grand Rapids if he wants to, but I prefer him to stay at the school. All right. So you know where I was. I'm going to stay at the school. All right. And so I never did go to Grand Rapids. And then shortly after that, the brother come and asked me, would I take a job as a chaplain? I thought they were talking about overseeing the volunteers, because we always had somebody who would take it in, brother, you go over here and teach, you go over here and teach, and so. So I thought I said, oh, sure, I'll do it. And then I found out second-handed that it was a job. I said, these suckers ain't with the Imam. Now, they know the Imam that said that he wanted me to stay at the school. Now you trying to get me out of the school. I sat down and wrote the Imam a 13-page letter on these long pages like this. I didn't have a computer. I was going to type it up. I had a little portable typewriter. And then it finally dawned on me. The Imam is smarter than I am. He know who he got around him. So I never did type it up. But I was letting him know these niggas around, excuse me. But these people around you, Brother Imam, they ain't with you, you know. But anyway, so the word got out that I was writing the letter because I showed it to a certain individual, all right? And he took it back to the individual who, that I didn't know they were tight buddies, you see. And next thing I know, they said, and that's how I found out they were a paid position, because the brother who was my supervisor, ain't gonna say who he is, because he's still a good brother, he's still living. But he said, I see we're gonna be losing you at the school. What you mean losing me at the school? He said, well, I heard you're gonna be a chaplain. Well, what that got to do with it? You know, I called a few brothers, hey, let's go to Joliet, let's go to Pontiac, you know, you go here and I go here and that kind of thing. He said, oh no, that's a full-time job. That's when I sat down and wrote the letter. All right. So now, as a result of that, because to answer your question, as a result of that, I got a job that I worked for 20 years, and